Great. Okay, so I'm taking the piece involving what happens when there is no planning or when there was planning but the planning fell through. And there's a variety of circumstances where this can happen. There are a great many people who just really don't like to think about the potential or possibility of their incapacity. So despite all of the array of options that Ken has gone through, they have not availed themselves of any of them, and then they've reached the point where they're no longer able to manage themselves and no longer able to take any further steps. There's also the circumstances of a person who has had developmental disabilities for their whole life, and it's not the variety of outcomes are not available. They do not have capacity to do a representation agreement, so the nature of their incapacity is such that they can't avail themselves of the options. And then there's circumstances where the best laid plans go wrong, and that is unfortunately an area that we deal with quite a lot in our office. Okay, where there was a power of attorney appointed, but things went awry. Either the power of attorney is no longer available, or there's been some problems with how they've been financially managing. So that's an example of the circumstances where a court-appointed guardian is necessary. We still use the language of committeeship in BC. We are the only jurisdiction, I think, in Canada that does so. Everyone has moved on from that to a property guardian or personal guardian. But what committee of estate and committee of person mean is a property guardian and a personal guardian. So why? Why are we using that kind of language? Well, because our governing legislation is the Patients' Property Act. And this is a model of guardianship that has not changed since mid-last century. And it's based upon a model, as you can tell from the title of the legislation, of institutionalization, of a profile of someone who's incapable, who would be probably have developmental disabilities that have them institutionalized, or they're in a psychiatric unit, and someone has stepped in. That is not the profile of most people who would need a committee today. They are not patients. And oftentimes, certainly our observation in our office is the rise of dementia and Alzheimer's and dementia-related illnesses dictates that many people who get involved in the committeeship process are people who are quite elderly. And they live at home or they live in the community, and it has become necessary because of the nature of their assets that someone take over their financial affairs. So does it matter? Does it matter that we're using this really old legislation to deal with adult guardianship? I think there's a strong argument to say that, yes, it does matter that we're using very old legislation here. And just to take it wider or talk in sort of more global or wider terms, in 2006, the UN General Assembly formally adopted the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. And the purpose of this convention was to promote, protect, and ensure the full and equal enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms by all persons with disabilities, and to promote respect for their inherent dignity. That's a principle I think that everyone can get behind. Article 12 of the convention, however, creates some specific types of issues, particularly in Canada. Canada is a signatory of this convention. And the article, in sort of broad terms, says that persons with disability enjoy equal legal capacity on an equal basis with others in all aspects of life. So there's a presumption of supported decision-making. Parties shall take appropriate measures to provide access by persons with disabilities to the support that they may require in exercising their legal rights. When you look at the Patients' Property Act, that's not what it is in that legislation. Certainly there have been some amendments to bring it more in line with the supported decision-making model, but committeeship really is someone coming in and standing in the shoes of the adult with the power to make every decision on their behalf. It's an agency type of relationship. There's no real guidance in the Patients' Property Act as to how you would make those decisions. And so I think there's a continuum and certainly a tension between the supportive decision-making model and the substitute decision-making model that's hard to reconcile. And Canada hasn't reconciled it. Canada provided its interpretive declarations with reservations about this article, specifically in relation to using substitute decision-making models. And Canada promotes the substitute decision, not promotes, but uses a substitute decision-making model. And then the other avenue for someone having a property guardian would be by the public guardian trustee becoming committee of estate. by certificate of incapability issued under the Adult Guardianship Act. I'm not going to talk too much about this. This is more of an administrative process by which the public guardian trustee becomes committee because it's a last resort option and there's no one else available to bring an application to court. This has had an overhaul recently, thank goodness, so that there are very clear parameters around what has to happen in this context in terms of notification to the adult that this is underway, notification to family members, an opportunity to object to the assessment or seek reassessment, and a court option if the adult doesn't agree with the reassessment. So I won't spend too much time on that, but that is an area that has had recent changes.